Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here in Jackson, Wyoming, and I'm actually here with my family this fall, traveling around the U.S. And like a lot of you, I'm doing remote working this semester or this fall, and my kids are doing remote learning this fall. So we're really trying to make the best of the situation and see the U.S. and travel while we can. Okay, and so what this video is going to do is give you some advice and some tips on how you can travel with your children if they're doing online education this fall. Because let's be honest, this is an opportunity that we've never had before to actually go and explore during the fall months with our kids. And so we want to help people get the most out of their travels if they're going to travel with their kids while they're online learning, okay? And I'm not going to talk about health stuff. I'm not talking about pandemic stuff. What I'm going to do is, if your kids are online, here's some advice we have for you, okay? Now, the first thing you have to do is when you're looking at taking your kids and traveling with them when they're doing online education is make sure you know their schedule. Have their schedule down. Are they 11 to 3? Are they 9 to 5? Are they 9 to 2? What is it? Because every school system may be different, and both of our kids have different times. Caleb is 9 to 1:30 and Liam is 8:45 to 11:25. By knowing these things, it helps us to decide where we can travel. You know, I would love to go to China. I would love to go to Japan again. However, the 12-hour time difference might make it a little hard if Liam has school from 8:45 at night until 11:30 at night. Maybe it doesn't work. So make sure you truly have their schedule. And so you might choose your destination based on that. I know for us, we've gone from Central Time in the U.S. and we actually went to Mountain Time and maybe Pacific Time while we're traveling, because then, the kids start an hour earlier or 2 hours earlier. So instead of 9 o'clock class start, it's 8 or 7 for Caleb, so he can get up and go, and they're done by noon, and then you can go explore. So make sure you're factoring in the time difference for where you're going to travel with your kid's schedule, okay? So that schedule thing is really, really important. Also, when you're getting to understand your kid's schedule, don't leave before the semester begins. Get an idea of how things work, who you need to talk to. Do you have the tech phone number for people in case something's wrong with the device, okay? When you're looking at places to go, what we recommend is find a destination that has lots of day trips or half-day trips. Because think about it, the kids are going to be in school at least until noon wherever you are, and then you can do something in the afternoon with them. So we're here in Jackson, so what are we going to do? Well, today we're going to go, after the kids finish, we're going to the elk reserve that's here. Tomorrow we're going to the Grand Tetons and going to go visit there. The next day we're heading back to the Grand Tetons, do some more stuff, and then we have another day we're going to explore the city here. And so we have a destination that has a lot of different short trips that we can enjoy. Maybe you're going down to Savannah, Georgia, so you have Savannah for a day, and after school one day you go to Tybee for the beach, and then you go to Charleston in the afternoon. Or if you're in London, you can be doing class during the day, then one day explore London in the afternoon, another day go to Hampton Court, another day go out to Oxford or Cambridge or something like that. But having a destination that has a lot of half-day trips make things a lot easier, because then you can get something out of the travels. It's not just, we're sitting at another Airbnb or hotel while you do the work. We could have done this at home. No, you want to get some of the culture. You want to get some of the travel in there as well. That's why it's important to have these close destinations. Now, my next tip for you is when you're planning your stay, make sure you plan to stay Monday through Friday in the same location. Actually, get in Sunday night and leave. You want to leave Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. Why? Because you don't want your kids trying to do online learning while they're sitting in the back of the car, right? Because it's bounced around. Do you get good enough cell service where you're going to go? You can't guarantee that. And by renting a place like an Airbnb or a hotel for the whole week, you have kind of a set schedule. And for the kids, it makes it a lot easier having that schedule, knowing that's going to be your desk for class, that's the bed you're going to sleep, or sleep in, or whatever. You have all these things kind of planned out, and it makes for a much more comfortable situation for your kids. Because even if you want to be traveling every day like back in the backpacking Europe days, you can't do that when your kids doing online school, because if you skip online school, they still are counted as absent, okay? So you do need to think about that. That's why my next tip for you is plan your big traveling on the weekends. So we're here in Wyoming. We live in Illinois. So what did we do? Well, we drove all the way across Nebraska on Saturday. Yes, it was a long drive, but we went all the way across Missouri, across Nebraska, and got to Cheyenne, and we spent time there. We had that kind of set up. We stayed in Cheyenne Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday after school. Then we drove up here to Jackson. So we got in last night to Jackson. We knew the kids could have their school in here. And so we had school this morning, and they're still learning right now. And we did that, and we know that, hey, this weekend, Are we going to do any big traveling trips? Well, we're going to be going to Idaho this weekend, so we can make sure we can have that time frame so the kids aren't trying to learn while they're sitting in the back of the car or the bus or the SUV or the RV. Now, when you are booking your accommodation, my next tip for you is don't forget to ask a lot of very good questions, because you might find a great VRBO or a great Airbnb or a great hotel. Maybe it's a great location or a perfect view or whatever, but you need to ask them, how is your internet? Not just do you have internet, but need to tell them, look, my kids are doing online learning. They're going to be streaming. I need to know, can we watch Netflix at your location? Because here's the thing, is we were here in Wyoming and we were looking for apartment rentals. And when I would put in internet, I mean, we'd lose half. I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're not doing any lodges or any cabins out in the middle of nowhere, because there's no internet, and satellite internet a lot of times won't cut it for streaming. So you really have to think about that. So ask questions to the VRBO host, to the Airbnb host, to the hotel, because they may say, well, actually, if you're going to be doing the teaching, you might want to get one of our suites that has a second room that has 2 desks, so both the kids can be working at a desk on their own. And that's what you have to think about, is where's my kid going to work? Because we saw some really cool cabins that had nowhere where the kids could work. I'm like, this is going to work for us for a week, because I can't have the kids laying on the floor learning. Well, you could, but you really need to ask these kind of questions. So be smart and don't be shy about asking them. Now, another thing I'm going to tell you is bring headphones. Okay, you will all get annoyed listening to their teachers and all the other kids talking in the class. You're like, oh my God, could that kid be quiet? Invest in good headphones with a microphone for your kids. Get ones that are special for them. I've actually found that the gamer headphones work really well. Yes, you pay more for them, but it's comfortable on their ears. It has a good microphone. They're a little bit more sturdy, and then you don't have to listen to 90 kids talking all day long. They're in their headphones little world while you do that, okay? With all those headphones and those other things I'm talking, you might realize that sometimes you're going to get a little impatient with your kids when they're doing their homework and they're having their homeschooling. And I'm going to say is you really are going to have a lot more patience than usual, because your kid is doing online education maybe for the first time, and there's going to be technical problems. You know, exams won't go through, homework didn't get submitted right, you don't know what's wrong, they don't know what's right, and you're going to get really frustrated. You need to have even more patience as a parent when you're doing this online education, especially when you're traveling, because you may have driven 10 hours the day before and you have your own work to do, but you know what, your kids do too, and you made a choice to travel with them while they're doing their online education. Have a little extra patience with them, because I'm going to guess they won't have any patience with you because they're kids and they have no patience for us. And that means be prepared to be yelled at when you ask them every day, did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? Because I found it takes about asking 3 times before the kids actually think, do I have any homework? Because of course you ask them, do you have any homework? Oh no. You sure? No, I have nothing. Are you really sure? And then they're like, well, maybe I do have English, or maybe I do have math. Well, let's look, okay? That's why it's really important. Another thing is to be in contact with their teachers. Let your teacher know that, look, we're going to be traveling, but they will be in class every day. If there's anything we need, who do we call? What's the tech number? Get these things out of the way first, just in case. And I know some people don't like people knowing that they're traveling. And I'm going to tell you right now, your kids will tell people, we're in Jackson, Wyoming. We're in Cheyenne. We're in Nebraska. We're going to Yellowstone tomorrow. They will share that. So your secret travels will not be secret to the school. They will figure it out. And another advice I have for you is don't blow your budget on the kids' laptop for online education, because the kids that are doing online education, you're going to be fine with just getting a cheap Chromebook, because there's so many kids at different levels, like financial levels of what kind of computer they can have or what kind of systems they can use. Lots of schools are just using basic Chromebooks, and so what you're going to need is a cheap Chromebook that has a front-facing camera so they can look at their teacher with a microphone jack and maybe a USB plug, and that's it. You don't need the super powerful gamer computer. Unless you want them to play games while you travel, which I'm guessing you don't. So have that kind of simple Chromebook out there so they can do that. It doesn't bust your budget, like if you get some Dell Alienware or something, or a MacBook, you can get them for a couple $100 and it'll help your kids learn, and it'll really give them focus, and you can save that money to travel more and show them some more beautiful places wherever you're traveling, whether you're domestic or international or wherever. I hope it helps. And
also sometimes it's a good idea just to stop and capture things the way you see it. We travel with some watercolor pencils and these great watercolor pens. You just put water in it and it's a brush, and the kids kind of brush over the colorings and things like that. But great memories for later in life.
Liam, can we see yours? That's cool, buddy. And honestly, I hope you have a fun time traveling with your family and doing the online education, but also being able to see more of the world at the same time. So I hope these helped you out. If you think they helped you, why don't you share with some of your friends that also are trying to think about traveling, online education, what are we going to do? I think these things can really help out. And I do wish you all the best. And if you want travel videos, maybe the don'ts of visiting Wyoming or the shocks in Nebraska or wherever, check us out on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, and we really appreciate your likes, subscriptions. We want to say a special thank you to our patrons on Patreon and our members on YouTube for helping making travel videos like this possible. So I wish you all the best, and I'll say bye from here in Jackson, Wyoming. And good luck to all those students out there and the parents.